walks around without being shady. Who knows her values? Who's gone through trials? Her smiles are captured from mouth to mouth. It's not the size of her thighs she worries about, but the pride she thrives to keep that drive. That cinnamon twist. That cinnamon twist. That cinnamon twist. Ladies, can you feel me? That cinnamon twist. That cinnamon twist. That cinnamon twist. Ladies, can you hear me?
Hello, 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 hello. It is your girl Tasha, known to the world as the Tasha Carpenter, but everybody calls me your girl Tasha because when you hang with me, it is like you are hanging with your girl. And guys, today I'm very excited because in the studio today, I have with me an award-winning speaker, an international trainer, and guys, she's committed to reaching, teaching, and transforming people so that they can become empowerment machines, okay? She makes you into an empowerment machine, and she encouraged you to discover the strengths that God gave to you so that you could use them in every part of your life, guys. Right. In the studio today, we have the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Valencia Daniel.
Hello, Miss Tasha. I love hanging with your girl, Tasha.
I am so glad that you are up in here. And some of the people don't know, they probably saw on the flyer, guys, that she is known as the game changer.
They call me the game changer because when you see me coming, you know that a positive change is going to take place.
All right,
that's
now.
right.
That is something powerful to say. So, of course, people want to know, how did that all begin? How does a person begin to get to? I know how I became your girl Tasha, but how did you become known as the game changer?
Wow, that is such a good question. So I became known as the game changer because when I was forming my company and I was moving from that initial entrepreneur stage to the next level in all of my marketing and really just getting everything done online, I had just done a teaching series for the Department of Homeland Security where I went in and I was doing leadership training and so forth. And I received a Change Agent Award. And when I got that, it just went hand in hand. And I decided from that point forward that I would be dubbed the game changer.
So Homeland Security, that sounds real like high priority and stuff. I mean, how do you get the Homeland Security people to come out to you and want you? What's your background?
Well, my background is in human resources and in information systems. But who I am innately, no matter what job I have, no matter where I was in my life, I was always the person doing soft skill training, understanding employee engagement, understanding how to do the strength finders. I'm certified as a Myers-Briggs facilitator. I am certified in neuroscience. So these are things that are just a part of my background, and because they are part of my background, I found myself always going out and training in any job environment. And so it just continued to evolve where they asked me to go out and do these trainings, and I did the speaker series for them.
All right, now look, I see Cheryl Brown is in there saying hello, Valencia, and hello,
Hello,
Tasha.
Cheryl.
Just a reminder to each and every one of you who are joining us Facebook Live, make sure that you share and invite this live. Also, if you're tuning in with us on the WBGR app, just make sure you get somebody in the room with you to listen. And as always, if anyone wants to call in, the number is 301-429-9247.
All right.
Okay. So,
and I love that. I'm going to tell you, we were just talking about my platform, what I do, how I show up. And the thing that I love most is real interaction. So we all go live and we do our Facebook lives and our Instagrams and our YouTubes. But what I love most is when people ask me real questions. So I am here today, and if they have a leadership question, I don't care what the issue is that they are going through at work from a leadership, or I'm not engaged, I don't like it, whatever the issues, I want them to give a call, and I will do my best to answer you
Got
right here on the spot.
LaShawn Wesley, hi out there. Don't just type in the chat 301-429-9247. Call in everybody, because that's what Valencia. She want to talk to you, and believe me, she is a great talker and answer. And I think that it's leadership, not even just some of the things I hear from you. It's not even just about leadership at work. It's about leadership in your life.
That's right.
You give some really, really good sound advice. And what really attracted me to you when I first met you is your story that you had about how you overcame as a child when you were told that you couldn't read.
That's right. I was told I couldn't read, and then I thought I wasn't smart. And the way that made me feel changed how I showed up for everything from that point forward and who I ultimately became. So I say from that story that it was the pain that released my power in who I am.
Okay, tell them a little bit more about that whole scenario there.
Oh my! So you want me to start from
I want the abridged version, because I know that story can go like this long, and we ain't got all that time today, Valencia.
Not keynoting right now. Keynoting. So I was that child who had moved from the District of Columbia into a Maryland school when I was in the 4th grade. Like any new student to a school, I was assessed, and they told my mom, they sent a letter home that said, Valencia can't read. And that was a shock to my mother. That was a shock to me. And I went from that point forward with the idea that I couldn't read and therefore I wasn't smart. But everything that I did because of that made me, one, feel like I wasn't smart. So I really orchestrated my life in such a way that I did not do or achieve the things that I could have. However, I also was an overcomer at spirit, and I did everything that I could to make sure that I could read and that I showed up strong every day in everything that I did. Long story short, it led to me being the person that reads everything. And I pretty much read almost a book a day or a book every other day. But I read everything as it relates to anything that I'm doing. So there's no thing that will come my way that I won't study and learn about. And then I teach other people those things that I learn. So my pain released my power.
Okay, so that goes hand in hand. I think about that. There's some people out there, Valencia, that their dreams are smothered because of what other people tell them, because other people take the blanket and throw it over their head and make them think that they are not able to accomplish what's destined in their heart. So a person who's going through that, and you have, of course, we always talk about, stay away from the negative people and all this other kind of stuff, but there's some people that just can't get away from that circle. What is your advice to a person who has a dream, but because everybody's in their ear, the naysayers, they're not pursuing their dream?
So the first thing that I would tell anyone is that they have to start listening to themselves. First and foremost, it's you who has the dream. It is not someone else's dream to begin with. It is yours, right? Yours to pursue. And it's your job to protect that thing and also to pursue that thing. So it doesn't matter what it is that you've gone through, what it is that you have to overcome, who it is that you have in your circle. Some of us, like you said, can't get away from those most negative people, but you do have the ability to escape on your own. So just like I'm talking about reading books, you have the ability to read books. Today in society, there is a plethora of platforms to go to listen to people like me on Valencia Daniel International that's going to tell you ways to, shameless plug, get there from here, right? You can go to YouTube University. There are people there all the time giving encouragement. So you may not have the ability to move from where you are physically, but you can absolutely mentally surround yourself with people who are going to encourage you and give you the tools necessary to understand where you are and where you are going.
Okay, so you keep on looking at that green light. Look at that red light. That red light is hot.
Okay.
But that's okay. Look, this is what happens when you're live. Because they're like, who is she looking at?
Who is she looking at? She looking at.
So,
okay.
And, Valencia, and I think about that too. What I like to tell people is that they never realize that, oh, one moment, we got a call coming in. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hey, it's Hanging with your girl, Tasha. Who do we have?
Hi, this is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl. Where you calling from?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, Rhode Island in the house. You have a question for the game changer?
Yeah, I have a question.
Okay.
Hi, Valencia. This is Cheryl.
Hi, Cheryl.
First of all, I just want to ask you because I'm trying to brand myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I keep going on Facebook and I'm getting different people who are wanting me to pay them for my brand. Should I do that?
It depends on what it is that you're looking for, Cheryl. So if you are in a position where you don't quite understand what your next step should be, how to package yourself, exactly what branding is all about, because branding is not just about your logo. It's not about the little things that we say about ourselves. Branding is truly what they say about you when you're not in the room. So understanding exactly how to show up strong, how to develop for yourself a look, a feel, so that people understand who you are when you show up. If you don't understand those steps, then absolutely you might need to pay someone. But I always tell people who are just starting out, there are more than one way to show up. There are more than one way to figure this thing out. There are books out there. There are articles out there. There are ways for you to pay, but not pay before you're ready to understand exactly what it is that you're trying to buy. I think an educated consumer is the best way to go.
I'm sorry. Okay, so like my brand that I use is Eat for Life with Brown because I like to cook and healthy meals. And also you're my inspiration, Jamila. But so eventually I'll be doing like a cooking show.
Mm-hmm.
But right now I don't have a logo, but I am trying to find out, the question I asked you, I am trying to find out if I should pay someone because I know what I want to do, but just having the brand, you have to have more to it. It's more to it than just having the brand, right?
Right. So Cheryl, this is what I would suggest. And when I talk to people about getting there from here, a lot of times what we find ourselves trying to do is get there or go to the next level from someone else's place, right? That doesn't make sense. I can't take a step in the direction that I need to go in if I'm trying to take the step from someone else's location. It doesn't make any sense. So what I would like you to do and what I would suggest for anybody in your situation trying to develop who they are, start doing it right now. So that's one of the things that I say, Tasha, to the greatest degree possible, be who you want to be today. Stop waiting for other people's validation. Validate yourself. And what that means is that you're going to show up right where you are. I need you to set up that camera. All you need is your phone. Set that up and start cooking or start talking to us about cooking. What it's going to do is you're going to develop your voice. See, when we're in our heads, it's just in our heads. But when we start doing, we start learning stuff about ourselves. We start understanding what we need to fix or change. So just start doing it.
Can you repeat that again to Miss? I don't know if I could do that, Tasha.
Is that what she says? Okay. I do. I need everybody to get that message. Stop waiting for other people's validation. You've got to validate yourself. And that means to show up right where you are and do what you can in the space that you're in so that you start to learn more about yourself. You can't grow and go if you're not doing anything in the space that you're in.
Okay, Cheryl, you good, lady?
I heard that. I mean, I have started. I do put recipes on Facebook and I post them and I show people where I'm cooking, but I'm just not. You don't see the kitchen and all that. You just see the pot. So I will. I do appreciate it, Valencia. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay, so I want to see you, right?
That's right. And I also created my dinner tonight inspired by you and Latasha, so check it out.
Okay. Very
we'll be
good.
looking for it.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome. Take care.
Okay, we got Jamila in the house. We got Natasha in the house.
Hello, hello.
And Natasha said to tell you, get her Valencia. Talking about Cheryl. She said, get her Valencia. And they said that, ladies, you look, both of you are looking beautiful tonight.
Oh, thank
Okay,
you.
so
Thank
we're
you.
doing so good here. Oh, okay. Hey, we have hanging with your girl Tasha. Who's calling in?
Oh, it's Jamila, baby.
Ah! What's up, Jamila?
I just wanted to shout you guys out. I wanted to steal some airtime, but keep doing an awesome job on watching the show here. And what's up to everybody in the chat?
Okay, so that's my girl Jamila, and we are on Accelerate with Valencia and Jamila every Friday night. We are cooking in the kitchen and we are sharing our knowledge. She is a marketing guru and I am your girl Valencia, as you know. And we're going to help you get there from here. We truly do help you accelerate, but we do it in an easy, moving kind of way. So thanks, Jamila, for calling in.
And you know, I had to say something. I'm part of the community with them. And Cheryl, that's something that I think about too, because Cheryl and I debate back about whether or not you have to spend a whole lot of money. There is so much content that I receive from watching and being a part of the community. You could go so many places and get things that you could utilize. It's about paying all the money. Then you got to be funny, because some of the people who taking your money is not worthy of taking your money.
Right.
So if you could gain the information from great people like Jamila and Valencia and other people that do it, and do it that way. There's enough free webinars on the internet and stuff that you can utilize them.
And Cheryl can start small. She can start doing the smaller thing. I know Jamila offers a course, I think, and I can't remember the price, so I won't do that to Jamila. But she's on the line. I don't know how much. Tell them how much it is.
I'm still on the line. I'm still here.
Yeah, how much is your course? Your marketing course?
So we have multiple. So if you go to learn.imabrand.co, you can see just the plethora of courses that we have. We have the School of Mavericks. So we have a course for every price point. So if you're interested in training yourself or you're interested in finding your ideal customers, you could just visit learn.imabrand.co, and that's the School of Mavericks. Enroll.
And she'll be typing that in the comments. Believe me, she'll be typing that in the comments.
But that's what I want. Cheryl needs to do that. Cheryl needs to do that. She needs to get out there, see what's available out there, and start small. But always go with the person who is showing up, who is giving value. So I'm able to answer your question no matter what that question is, as long as it's in my field. I am also able to understand what I can't answer and tell you right away that's not my area of expertise, and even say to you there's somebody else who might be able to handle that better. What you have to do is be a discerning customer. Don't buy everybody's product, but pay attention and show up to who's adding value to you, and those are the individuals that you want to invest in, or you want to invest in yourself with those individuals. Absolutely don't buy everybody's anything, because people are showing up and they're telling you they're experts in their field, and they are not.
They're giving you some junk.
All right, so I'm going to hop off the line. I'm going to clear these phone lines up, but I appreciate both of you. Keep rocking to the both of you, and a big boom to everybody that's in the chat that's watching.
Thank you, Jamila.
Right, thanks, Jamila.
So so you train.
Yes.
Well, you kind of explained already what you trained on.
Yes. So when I say soft skills, I'm talking about managing up, leading up, speaking. So one of my biggest products is Present Like a Boss, helping you show up in the world the way you want to be. I want you to present like the boss that you are, or the boss that you want to be. So everybody has to present themselves to the world every day, and you want to show up as your strongest self, and that's one of my signature platforms.
Public speaking is very hard for some people, Valencia.
It is. It can be.
Okay, so to the person that wants to be the turtle with their head in the shell, what do you think is considered as a baby step to get towards public speaking?
So if they are really the person who wants to be a tortoise with their head in the shell, then they don't want to be a public speaker, because it's going to require you to come not only outside of your shell, but to stand up.
What?
Right?
There's a lot of entrepreneurs watching us, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can you be a successful entrepreneur if you don't speak to people? So
If you
whether
don't
it's in front of a room doing conferences or something, you have got to talk to people.
That's
so
right.
It's public speaking. So this person is saying, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do well in my business, whatever it may be, but I don't want to talk to people. Can you give them a reality check?
So we all have to communicate and talk to people, whether we're doing things online, but there are more than one way of doing things. So everybody doesn't have to really stand in front of a big audience. It depends on what it is that you're doing. We're all salespeople. I don't care who you are, you're selling to someone in some capacity. But there is more than one way to go about doing that. And I am the person who's going to help you first determine who you are, how you show up best, and then we're going to work it from that place. But I'm also going to help you understand how you don't have to seem like you're so nervous. Like, I'm going to help you get those butterflies to fly in formation so that you can speak to those people you need to speak to and be an effective communicator when you do speak.
So let's role play.
Okay.
Because these are things I've heard from people.
Okay.
Let's talk about going live. Okay, so I decide I don't like my voice. I don't like the way I look. I don't want to get on the video. So what am I supposed to do?
So
I don't like my voice. I don't like the way I look.
I need you to like you first. And that is something that I actually have to talk to people about. I remember so many years ago, I was working with a partner at a law firm, and she shows up in court all the time. She is absolutely a partner in the law firm. So she's got associates and senior associates reporting to her. But when it's time to go to court, she was very nervous. She's a partner. She did it all the time. And I thought, what? That doesn't make any sense. But she had all of those things that you're talking about. She talked about her gray hair. She talked about her size. She thought that she was too fat. She was older. All of these things matter to her. So my question to her was, do you show up as someone else when you're in the building? Because all we ever heard was that she was this great person, so smart. She's a great leader. People wanted to work for her, but she didn't show up that way in the courtroom. And she was like, oh no, it's different. Why is it different? You're the same person in your home, around your friends, in your church, synagogue, whatever it is that you go to and do. You're that person. It's time for you to get used to being that person, even if you're out front. So if you take away any of the things that you're thinking, remember I was saying, I can't read and I'm not smart, so it was in my head.
Right.
You are the person who's holding you back. You have to say, it doesn't matter. I had to do some other things today, and I had to talk to my assistant, Veronica, and I was like, I don't have nothing to wear. We got to go on Tasha's show. And we had to get to that point where I draw the line in the sand and say, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
And move forward. It doesn't matter. You show up strong in whatever you have on and however you look and whatever size you are and how old you are, whatever your voice sounds like. If it's something you can work on it. If it's something you can do about it, do about it. But show up as you are right now, today, because you are enough today.
You are enough today. Okay, guys, remember you could call in 301-429-9247, 301-429-9247. Okay, so let's see. What would you consider as your biggest obstacle that you ever tackled in your life?
Wow. Other than not feeling like I couldn't read, because that was the biggest obstacle. I went most of my life feeling like I was not smart enough. And I was always overcompensating for that. It turned out to be the thing that released my power, because I was always reading ahead and reading books because I thought I couldn't read. So I wanted to make sure that I had that taken care of. For some people, that's the thing that holds you back. So It didn't hold me back. It actually pushed me forward. So what would I consider the thing that held me back? My biggest obstacle was really not trusting who I was, not knowing that I was enough. You just talk to yourself and you talk yourself out of opportunities. This is an opportunity, something that I might want to be able to do, and I'm not going to do that because I'm not enough.
Oh, you made me think of a person, and I'm not going to call that person out.
Don't do it.
But I know that person is watching right now because I saw them in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are some people that you get yourself involved. For instance, we have a morning call.
Okay.
It's supposed to be the daily tune-up that we do every day with my team, right? So in trying to push people to step outside their comfort zone, some of them have stepped up to be facilitators, right?
Okay.
But recently, we had a facilitator who's realizing that week after week after week, they're bringing this content, right? And other people find the content to be helpful and useful.
Okay.
But because that person is not applying what they're talking about themselves, now they've decided to back off.
Because they are not applying what they know to talk about in theory to themselves in action.
They're not utilizing their own information.
Okay.
So would that be a right decision because you feel like you're a hypocrite or something? I'm telling these people this.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? How many people go to church on Sunday to hear a preacher preach, and do they think that the preacher is perfect or that they have it all going on? Many times they will come up with a sermon that will step on their own toes or straighten themselves out. I write books. I write theory. I understand how to show up strong so that you finish strong. And I go back to my own writings to correct things for myself on a regular basis. I look at things and say, you know what? I need to do this more often myself. Absolutely not. Just because you were given the inspiration to give to others doesn't mean you have it all going on yourself.
Okay, so how do you go back? Because the preachers, they're not going to stop preaching in the pulpit.
They're not
on Sunday.
They're not, and we don't want them to, right? So they don't. It's okay. So I have
Some
the
of them
Bible.
you do want them to.
Well, okay. Well, then we're not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that are really good, that understand what they've studied and what they're preaching about. It doesn't mean that they live perfect lives.
Right.
So just because they're standing there and giving good principles and practices doesn't mean that they use them all themselves all the time. They may try to. So just like I know the best way to speak, doesn't mean that every time I get on stage, I don't make mistakes. What I do is I give myself permission to make mistakes so that I show up strong and you don't pay attention to those mistakes.
Permission to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every single time I go to speak, I look at myself in the mirror and I give myself permission to make mistakes. Because when I'm talking to you, I make mistakes and it's okay. Why would it not be okay when I'm standing on stage? It makes me more
authentic.
Relational. Yes, you can relate. You can relate to me.
Right.
It absolutely works. So it's okay if I stutter. It's okay if I can't think of a word. It's okay if I miss something or mess up. It is only a mess up if I start to point it out to people. If I, because I'm uncomfortable, I start saying things like, I'm sorry. One of the things I teach people in my class is if you keep saying you're sorry, people are going to see you as a sorry person.
Ooh,
don't do it.
Did y'all hear that?
Yep.
If you keep saying you sorry, people going to see you as a sorry person. I'm going to tell you, I have to think about that because, look, I'm laughing because my mind is going both ways because I think about my friend sometimes when he's watching or when I'm talking. He be like, baby, you had a trailer park moment right there. You need to go out to the speech trailer and talk to somebody because down in their hometown, they had a speech trailer. I be like, I don't care. I can stutter. I can mess up. And I'm perfectly fine with it no matter what.
You got to be okay with you first.
there's so many people out there who are not. I actually last week I was at the BJ's in Laurel, and it was so funny. I had to go there on Wednesday because Trinity, my daughter, had a practice. They were in this theater thing on Saturday, so we had to go to practice on Wednesday. Coincidentally, this waitress on Wednesday, while I was waiting to be seated, stepped on my toe on Wednesday. And she was like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, "Okay." Well, Lord and behold, on Saturday, after Trinity's performance, the whole family, we decide that we're going to go to the restaurant to eat afterwards. And she's our waiter. So you know how the waitresses, they come to the table and everything and they introduce themselves. Well, she's like, "Hi, my name is Grace, but I'm not that graceful. I'm pretty clumsy, so I just want to warn you in advance, guys, in case anything happens."
Okay.
And I was like to myself, like, okay, this is a chick that stepped on my toe on Wednesday. I said, but did she really just say that?
She did. She just managed. So you show up, and if every time you think you're lacking in something, you start to put that out there, first and foremost, it becomes a self-fulfilled prophecy. So she is just fulfilling what she thinks she's going to fulfill. She's setting it up so that she makes mistakes. She's going to start to do, just like we do, the things that she says about herself. So that's number one. It's a self-fulfilled prophecy. But number two, she just managed your expectations. You have no expectation of excellence from her because she told you that she was lackluster, that she's clumsy, and just this is what you can expect from me. That is nothing that you ever want to do when you show up. I am not going to tell you what I believe to be wrong with me. I am going to be my best self in the space that I'm in. And if you see it wrong, if you view it wrong, then I will manage that. But I will never put it out there so that you can be looking for those things to be wrong with me. That would be the absolute last thing that you would ever want to do. So I need you guys to be ready. I need you to go to my website. I need you to sign up. I need you to tell me, Valencia, I want to be a part of Present Like a Boss, because I think that sounds like something I might need to be bringing back, Tasha. Real soon.
And you got to present like a boss everywhere, because how you show up anywhere is how you show up everywhere.
That's right.
Because I'm going to tell you, old girl.
That's right.
We asked for some hot tea.
Mm-hmm.
Valencia, she spilled the whole cup on herself.
No.
Burned herself, had to go and change her clothes and everything. She said, "I told you I wasn't that graceful." I was like, Lord help us, but there's so many people that don't. I'm sorry. I love BJ's. I go to the one in Bowie usually. But if you go to Laurel, you might not want to get Grace. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But there's people don't understand the power of the tongue. I just saw Paula DeBoer just hopped on here, and that's something that she talked about last week, was in here about the whole power of the tongue.
Absolutely.
So let's see.
Uh-oh. Y'all, are we ready?
You got all these little creative sayings that you have. Mm-hmm. So with your creative sayings or your models and things like that, what would you consider like your top three?
Top three.
Top three mottos.
Top three.
And why?
And why? Ooh, look, y'all. She doing the thing over here. Top three. The first one I gave you, and I say it again and again and again, to the greatest degree possible. Be who you want to be today. Like, we're not waiting until the end. Stop waiting for other people's validation. Validate yourself. And I say that because people who want to get there from here, shameless plug, that's my book, y'all. If y'all haven't figured that out yet, that's my book. You can get there from here. For people who want to get there from here, they are always dreaming about it and they're not doing it. So that leads into the second one, is to say, a vision without motion is a pipe dream. Again, is saying, get out there and do it. Start putting motion behind those dreams, those visions that we have for ourselves.
But I'm praying for it, God.
Okay.
God, I wanna have me a yacht. I want to be a millionaire.
Okay.
All I got to do is pray for it, Valencia.
Is that it?
That's all I got to do is pray for
Well,
it.
the Bible that I read said faith without works is dead. So if I have faith enough to pray and believe that it's going to come, it's not going to come if I'm not working to make it happen.
All
So
right.
I got to put the faith into action, right?
Okay.
It's an action word. Faith is an action word. It is not something that I'm going to lay docile on and wait for it to happen to me. And you know what? I think I learned that from my father because he used to ask us what we wanted, and we would set goals for ourselves, and we would start off as young children saying things like, I want to be a millionaire. And he was like, that's not enough. How are you going to become a millionaire? And then teaching us how to break those desires, those goals down into attainable things that we can do every day. So I needed to do well in school so that I could get to college, so that I could get the job, so that I could have the dream or be the entrepreneur or whatever. Understanding that you can have the far off dream. We all have those, but they're going to be steps. So you can't get there from here unless you're down for the journey. That's number 3.
Okay.
You can't get there from here unless you're down for the journey. And that for me says that on your road to your greatest yes, that opportunity, it's going to be paved with no's. And we look at those no's.
Did she say no?
No.
She said
absolutely.
no's.
No. Not just one no. Not just 2 no's. I said it's going to be paved with no's all along the way. And I see those no's as just opportunities to either strengthen us so that we can overcome whatever that is, or it's going to direct us in the things that we should do. You can't get there from here unless you're down for the journey. And that means a whole lot of no's, but you're going to have the strength. You're going to have to press on, be, perseverance to really overcome and understand why they're saying no, who they are that's saying no. Because some people say no just for the sake of saying no. It doesn't mean anything. It means that I go to the next person and I keep going until I get a yes. So those no's are going to be there, but you've got to trust and believe in the vision and the dream that God gave you, which means that you're going to have to do what's necessary to get there from here.
Okay, so look, she gave y'all 3 models, and she tripped me out because you would think that she keep on plugging her book, how you gonna get there from here, that she would have talked about her motto, ACE.
Ace it for leaders with the right attitude, communication, and ethics. You can ace anything in life. Look at you.
Y'all see that? Attitude,
Okay.
communication, and ethics. ACE.
ACE. You can ace anything in life. That is absolutely right. And that's a whole course in and of itself.
Okay,
Yep.
well, give us some little bullet points from that. How-
Okay, so attitude, we know that attitude is everything. How you show up, how you do anything is how you do everything. We talk about those things. Showing up strong in your life. I was just with friends this weekend, and I remember getting to the point in the conversation where I figured, you're not going to be at that job long. And she was like, no. And I knew that she wouldn't, because everything that she said when I leave there, when they fire me, when this is over, when I get to my next,
Like
she
she
was
mentally
already
checked out.
She absolutely had already prepared herself for the next thing. So my question to you is, how are you showing up every day in your own life? Are you being positive about what your next steps are? Are you preparing for that next thing? Are you shoring yourselves up on the things that you feel are weak? Are you being purposeful about your life so that you can get to that next thing? Or are you the person that's really holding yourself back? We talk about the people around us holding us back, but usually we're our own worst obstacle. So that attitude is right there. Then communication, being able to communicate. Once you get there, are you going to be able to articulate who you are and why you're there?
Exactly.
Right? Are you going to be able to say what needs to be said in that space? Understanding what communication is, how it works in every aspect of your life, whether it be selling, whether it be communicating with a spouse, whether you're talking about communication with your children, whether you're talking about managing up with your boss. How do you show up strong so that you can truly finish strong? And then ethics. Once you get there, what are you going to do to be able to stay there? Because if you don't do the right things, the right practices in your life, if you're treating people poorly, if you are doing nefarious things, illegal things, is all that hard work going to put you in a space where your last thing totally erases the entire journey?
The hard work that you did before. So yes, Cheryl Brown, she did say paved with no's. And Tawana, you're asking for her to repeat them again. I don't know what you're asking her to repeat again, sweetie. I wasn't looking. Dial 301-429-9247 and tell us what you want us to repeat again, girl. Call in and tell us what you want us to repeat again. You know, think about it. You brought up family and children and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have any suggestions to people that do have young children? How do you balance putting your kids first and putting yourself first too, to pursue and do your dreams? Because sometimes some people get challenged because they feel like, am I neglecting my children, or am I neglecting my family because I'm trying to pursue who I am? What do we say to those people?
So, first of all, you are who you are, whether you are working on your business, whether you're working with your children, whether you are working on your business and your children are in tow, you are who you are. But I really don't believe that we use that word balance right. I don't think we even understand it correctly. There's no such thing as balance. Okay. Where it's like we're on a teeter-totter, or what do we call those?
Seesaw.
The seesaw. And it's completely balanced. It's not like the wheels of justice that have to be balanced. Balance means that you do what you have to do here when it needs to be done. And then when it needs to be done over here, this may get a little bit neglected. But to say that we can be 100% in all things at all times is absolutely a fallacy. It's just not true. So balance means doing what you have to do when you have to do it, showing up strong in that space, working in excellence during that time. And then when you have to turn and pivot and pay attention to your children, to your spouse, then you have to do that. When you have to pay attention to your job because you haven't quit that yet, then you have to do that. Balance means doing what is necessary in that space to work in excellence during that time.
What does, you hear a lot of people say, take a leap of faith?
Mm-hmm.
So some people might equate that to, I'm going to take a leap of faith. I'm dropping my 9-to-5 job tomorrow, and I'm just going to start my new business.
But look, I'm going to tell you what my daddy always said, and I know you guys have all heard it. People who don't plan to fail. You better have a plan before you take a leap. Okay, a leap of faith to me says that I have done everything to prepare for the thing, and now I'm going to believe that the thing will come to pass. It does not mean that I am going blindly and just doing something. Sounds foolish to me. I'm just saying.
Okay, because we always hear that stuff. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to pack up my
You
apartment.
can. Oh, absolutely. All of those
stuff.
things with a plan. Absolutely. You can do all of those things with a plan.
All right now. Okay. So look, what are you actually working on right now? Because I know you always doing a whole bunch of stuff. So what is it that Valencia has going on?
What I have going on right now that's top priority is Destiny in Dubai, where I am taking 20 entrepreneurs from anywhere in the world with me to Dubai. I had the pleasure of going there in 2000.
What do you mean by taking them?
Taking them. So it's going to be a full trip.
You
where
paying
we are,
for them to go?
No.
Oh, okay.
Valencia doesn't pay for everybody to go to
was
Dubai.
About to really start
I bet
ringing.
it was.
You want to go to Dubai? Calling Valencia got you.
So the world is bigger than your backyard. You know that. The world is bigger than your backyard. But so often we only look at the monies we can make from friends and family, which, by the way, you guys, they will not make you great. Take that down. You don't learn anything else. Friends and family are not your target audience. They will not make you great. But bigger than your backyard, going beyond them, they might not even a little bit. They just your friends and family. They got tips for you.
Yeah, and you have to figure out, are you really my family? Because they don't support you. But anyway, that's a whole nother thing.
That's not even their job. That's not their job.
But people talk about the people get mad. They get upset about that because my friends, they support everybody else and family, but they don't support me.
That's a whole nother show. We can do that.
Oh my goodness.
We can talk about that. That is truly a show. I'm sure we could fill an entire hour talking about target audience and that our friends and family are not our target.
Sound like she's going to have to come back.
Okay. So,
but back to the free trip to Dubai.
Nope, not free. Not free. Look, not free. But I am taking 20 people with me. I can only take 20 people because we have to be able to really focus on those 20 people. Mm-hmm. But in between now and the actual trip, we are having 8 classes, one of them being Present Like a Boss, because when you get there, you will get to share the stage with us, and we will prepare your footage for your sizzle reel. So we're going to do the things necessary to help you present yourself to the rest of the world. We're going to give you customs and cultures so that you understand what to do when you go overseas, not only in Dubai, but in other places. So you're doing business, and you may be doing business in Africa. You may be doing business in different parts of Asia, and different parts mean different customs and cultures. But all of those things, we're going to talk about those things. We're going to help you, again, show up strong so that you finish strong. And as a part of your package, you'll have your CV. That's the resume that you will use abroad. We'll help you with your sizzle reel. We're going to help you, again, understand what you need to do to get ready to go overseas, because when I take you over there, I don't intend to leave you. Okay? Everybody's coming back with me. This is not the United States, and we want to make sure that you have everything that you need in order to return there. But it's a package that will change your life, your very existence.
So how do these people try out or how do they get on this list, or how do you determine which 20 you're going to take?
Okay, so it is first come, first serve. It is absolutely first come, first serve, but we are going to be having a get to know us session, a discovery session in the next couple weeks, where you will learn more about the trip, the costs associated with the trip, what it includes, and it will include your airfare. It will include excursions when you get to Dubai, and Dubai has some awesome excursions. It's going to include your hotel. It is a 10-day stay. It is going to include breakfast every day, because I don't know if you have any money, but we're going to make sure you eat at least once, right? During that day. And so much more. I couldn't even talk about it all here. So we are going to have a discovery session, and you just need to go to ValenciaDanielInternational.com. Valencia Daniel International, and then you'll have to click through and go to Destiny in Dubai, and you'll be able to sign up for our information session.
Okay, so hearing you say it's going to be on a first come, first serve basis made something pop in my head, because I was like, I don't know if that's necessarily good, because everybody that can pay some money might not be somebody that you want to take over there with you.
Oh, well, you have to go through the seminars, but I can't tell, even if I did the best possible kind of determining who's going to go.
Some kind of vetting or something.
I'm going to take you through the classes and the courses, but I am an adult, and I'm taking adults with me. Okay. So if you go to Dubai and you get left in Dubai, that won't be my fault.
Okay.
So it's going to be, we're going to prepare you to go, and I'm hoping that no one would take the time, spend the money, go that far away, only to have to stay there. Because guess who's coming home?
Valencia.
Okay.
That, on a smaller scale, that made me think about people, and when it comes to doing business. And the fact that people say all money's not good money.
Right. So that's so when I'm taking on a customer. If I can't help that person, then all money is not good money. I don't need to continue with that relationship if I know I am not the right coach or the right person to help them, right?
But you're supposed to be able to
All
help
money.
everyone.
No, that's not true. That is not true. Absolutely
Some people
not.
feel that
I have
can
my
save
audience.
everybody.
I can't and they can't. And we can't save people. People have to save themselves, number one. I will give you the information you need in order to succeed. If you put that into practice, I can promise you in putting it into practice that it's going to have a positive effect on you. But that's always the person's responsibility. And if we even took on that kind of burden to feel like when I gave it to you, you didn't use it and it reflects on me, it doesn't. I can only do my best to be excellent and give you the best that I have to offer, but it's that person's responsibility to make the changes in their own lives.
Have you always been there with that mentality?
Absolutely not. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so give us some stories.
I was absolutely that person that always wanted to say yes. I wanted to say yes. I wanted to be able to help people, and especially in the kind of work that I do, when I'm training people, I want you to be your absolute best. I want you to receive everything that I have to give. And it pained me to see that people didn't always do that. But as a part of my growing and learning, I actually, in ministry, in church, had to take a class on homiletics and preaching, speaking and preaching. And in that class, I was given a scripture, John 6:66. I still remember it today, and that was almost 10 years ago. And they walked with him no more. And in that scripture, I had to learn that people are going to come. They're going to see who you are in your greatness. They're going to absolutely espouse and even talk great about who you are. But when the time comes for action, to truly making a decision, they're going to absolutely not do anything, not be on your side. This is Palm Sunday. We just got over Palm Sunday. Those same people that were saying, Hosanna, Hosanna, were saying, crucify him in a week. That's what happens in real life.
That's right.
That's what happens in real life. So if we just have that basic understanding that people are wishy-washy and they're not always going to agree with you, all I am asking you to do is show up strong. You work in excellence in what you do and what you provide. And to Sheila, your reputation, your brand is what they say about you when you're not in the room.
Cheryl.
Is it Cheryl?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, Tawana said I missed a vision behind a pipe dream. Okay, Tawana, you figured it out.
A vision.
I'm glad you figured it out.
A dream without motion is a pipe dream.
A dream without motion is a pipe dream.
Or action. A dream without action.
A dream without action. Whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Get to moving.
Get to moving is a pipe dream. So in other words, you have the dream, but if you don't do the work to get it started, to make it happen, it's just a pipe dream. You're just playing it over and over in your head for your own entertainment. And that's not what it was given to you for.
So do you have, I know one time when I attended one of your seminars, you were like giving out little gifts to people. Do you have some kind of gifts to give out to the audience today?
No. Let me see. They can text the word MOVE, MOVE, to 202-335-1110, and they will receive my Impact Driven Leaders downloadable, and or they can go to bit.ly/Flow Genius. That's bit.ly/Flow Genius. And they will get a 5-piece guide that if they put it into action, it will boost their communication right away. And that's a free also download.
See, she has something free for you. She had something free for you. Absolutely. So, okay. As a trainer, What do you think is like two of the top, the most important lessons that you teach people how to use, and or what kind of lesson would you like to leave the audience with today if you had to teach them something?
If I had to teach them something.
You got about 6 minutes to teach a lesson, girl. Go
Oh
for
my
it.
God, she's giving me 6 minutes is a long time. I could actually teach something in 6 minutes. Let me see. What would I leave people with? The whole thing about getting there from here. So like the satellite in the sky is right there, right? You go in your car, you go on your phone or in your car, and you put in your GPS where you're going, right? We all do that. And it's the same thing with our dreams. We decide where we're going. But when you put in the destination, you put in that address, there is a satellite in the sky that's determining where your here is. Everybody needs to understand where their here is, how they got here, what they need to do in order to move forward, how not to end up in the same space again. And that's learning the lessons of the here, of all of our actions.
If you don't know your current location, if you don't put a current location in that
That's
navigator, you're
it.
not going nowhere.
That's it. And so what most people do is they live their lives just like they do that navigation system.
On autopilot.
They're focusing on where they're going, not recognizing that there is a real path to get there. And it is all about where you are. I can't get there from someone else's here.
And is that path a straight line, Valencia?
Is the path anywhere a straight line? Honestly, it is not. It is not.
Detours and roadblocks.
Detours, roadblocks, understanding how to get around the pothole, what you need to do to go in another direction. Do I want to take the highway, or do I want to just take the back roads going to where I need to go? Is it necessary sometimes to take the highway because the back roads has a tree down somewhere? Understanding where you are, what you're up against, and determining what the true path is to your next, not somebody else's, not what somebody else did, to your next. What is necessary for you is everything in truly reaching the goals that you have in your life. You can't get there from here, from somebody else's here.
So if you don't get around a pothole and you end up in the pothole, what's the advice?
What do I have to do to get out? How deep is the pothole? How did I get in the pothole in the first place? Because if I have to take that same road, do I want to end up in the same spot? No, I want to learn where that pothole is and how I got to that pothole, right?
Right.
And now, what's my way out? Do I have to ask for someone else's help to get out? Or am I able to get out myself and move on? Paying attention to where we are and completely being awake in our own lives will really make it possible for us to have the right attitude and so forth to get to the next place, to get to our next.
So that was one thing.
Oh my goodness. She tried it, y'all.
Now y'all get the second thing. Did y'all get that? Y'all got that?
I had to give another thing?
Yes. I said
Where we go? Wait.
two things. You want something they want to leave here with something else to put in practice right now.
Okay. So on your road to your next, set yourself up for success. I think we don't do that. I think we get to doing what we think we should do in the space that we're in, but we don't set ourselves up for those difficult situations. So I have a thing that I do, and I'm really good at it, where I set myself up for my day to be in the right space, the right energy in my own space. I do positive affirmations every morning. I do my prayer time. My quiet time with the Lord is important to me. I don't know what somebody else's is, but that is tantamount to me having a good day, is just spending that quiet time where I am allowing God to speak to me and I speak to him about what my goals and aspirations are. Right?
Yes.
Then I have things that I set up around myself all the time. I say that I have my own thermostat and nobody can touch it. It has, those white boxes that they have on the thermostat, where people can't get into it at work or in a building. I'm like that about my life. I have a thermostat over how people start to affect me. So I have music list. I have a love me music list. It's going bad. I have a song on that list. I guarantee you that I'm able to play to change how I feel about the circumstance or situation. I have sayings that I put up, Valencia-isms all over the place, so that I can look at those things.
Valencia-isms.
My way through a bad situation is to write about that situation. So I write constantly. I don't care if it's just a paragraph, because I'm a teacher, to kind of explain what I saw and what the right way to do something would be, so that I can get it off my chest. But I don't cancerously kind of spread what's going on in a negative way, because what the energy you put out is the energy that you get back, right?
Exactly.
So I am that person that sets myself up for success, and I encourage you to set yourself up, not only for the success of your day, but for the success of your life.
All right, guys. So there you have it. The game changer has spoke. And she spoke eloquently as usual, okay? It's sure if your girl Tasha had to say it, stop watering everybody else's daggone grass and water your own grass, okay?
I love it.
So, guys, that is another ending of Hanging with Your Girl Tasha. I thank you so much for coming on the show.
I loved hanging with you, Tasha.
And I think that we do have to do another 60 minutes, and I am going to get in the kitchen. Jamila, I'm coming in the kitchen, girl. I'm coming in the kitchen. But, guys, make sure you tune in every Monday. Remember to share. Catch the replay. If you're on the replay, make a comment. We'll make comments and get back to you. But next Monday, we have in the studio with us Mr. Derek Jones.
All right.
And your girl Tasha and Derek Jones is going to have a debate about women dating over 40 and whether or not is a true good man or not, because women be like, I don't want to be by myself, so you be settling. So that's what we're going to be talking about next week. We're going to have it going back and forth between me, your girl Tasha, and Mr. Derek Jones about that thing.
I'll be here.
So guys, again, we thank you for tuning into your girl Tasha. And you know what, before we cut off, I don't know if it's going to go off real quick or not, give your intro. Take us out with your intro.
Hi, my name is Valencia Daniel, also known as the Game Changer. They call me the Game Changer because when you see me coming, you know that a positive change is going to take place. I am an international trainer and award-winning speaker, best-selling author, and your power performance coach. I use my expertise in neuroscience, change management, and leadership to tailor trainings to individuals and organizations just like you that will propel you from average into excellence.
There you have it. Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. I loved it. I love it.
Now see the cinnamon twist. It's a sexy lady who walks around without being shady, who knows her values, who's gone through trials. Her smiles are captured from mouth to mouth. It's not the size of her thighs she worries about, but the pride she thrives to keep that drive. That cinnamon twist.